I mean, lighting is magic. It's really the thing in the room, the quality of the room. So when you get to make an object that creates light, and you get to think about how that light touches people and touches the things in the room that it's illuminating, it's really a powerful expression. My name is Gabriel Hendefar, and I'm the artistic director and a founder of Apparatus. I first started playing with light really as a need. In a moment where my life presented a beautiful new relationship and an opportunity to reimagine what it felt like to live together. And as part of that moment, there was a real creative energy and a desire to make things that we lived with, and light was just a natural exploration in that moment. I was born and raised in Los Angeles, and I always imagined that my life would begin when I moved to New York. I think this is a place that many people come to. I certainly came to because I felt I had something to prove. And when you arrive here with that drive and that desire, and you really feel like this is the stage, there's a way that the city sees that and reflects it back to you. If you allow yourself to tap into that, it's difficult not to feel inspired by that energy. So when designing work, I really like to think from the outside in and imagine a world and what I think that world should feel like and what the sort of emotional vibration of that world is, what it smells like, how you feel when you walk into it, what the memories are that it conjures. And from there, we structure our collections as acts, which all have both historical and design references and, create envelopes for us to tell specific stories. And ultimately, those stories are populated by the people who interact with the work both here and in their own homes. In terms of our spaces, we have our studio in New York, which houses our creative and operational headquarters, as well as our New York gallery. And in Los Angeles, we have a gallery that we opened in 2018. And in London, we just opened last year. So we are on 30th Street in Manhattan between 6th and 7th Avenues. So you come up the elevator, you walk through the bank door, you have sort of an elongated entry hall that leads you into Gallery 1, which we've just reimagined as the Red Room. And we've done that in anticipation of the launch of the Cylinder system, which will be forthcoming. Gallery 2 has a slightly more intimate scale. Gallery 3 is where you would see a majority of our collection that's in continuous production. And then my favorite suite of rooms are the executive offices and the lounge. And my office is kind of at the very end of the journey. We've been here for now 6 years, and I almost think of it as a soundstage. I think there's something about the fact that we're so close to this reality outside of our doors that is so different than what we've created here that gives me the continuous desire to sort of create this fantasy that's insulated from the outside world. And again, that's one of the magical things about this city, is that you never know what you're going to find when you open a door. So in Los Angeles, you walk into a little entry foyer and 2 adjoining sales galleries, and they are completely clad in stone aggregate. So immediately you feel like you're in an early 70s grotto. It feels a little bit subterranean, you're of the earth. And from that, you move into Gallery 1, which is entirely silver plastered. So you move from this very earthy exterior through to this moment of reflection with the silver, and then into this really sort of warm, enveloping hug of the cork in Gallery 2. I think in order for a piece to feel like it remains relevant over time, I think there's kind of a magical combination of something that's familiar that invites you in. And then when that draws you in, I think a piece should always surprise you. There should be something that you discover that you didn't think was there. And I think ultimately those things need to be expressed in materials that feel like they have some fundamental connection to the idea. And for us, that's generally humble and natural materials: stone, leather, brass, glass, things that feel almost elemental. But ultimately, I need to feel something when I'm interacting with a material, and I think it's partly intuitive. It sort of almost feels cosmic, and the material tells you where it wants to go. Now, having done this for about 12 years, over a decade, it's really difficult to choose a favorite. I mean, it's a little bit of a Sophie's choice. There are certain things that have a very personal, emotional meaning to me. All of Act 3 was a way for me to engage with my family's history. They left Iran in 1979. I was born in the US in 1981. And design was my way of creating this fantasy that I got to inhabit that would connect me to a place that I had never been and that my family had to leave. What I'm most proud of is having listened to where this journey has wanted to take me and finding a way to get to the center of something that has meaning for me and also inspiring the people around me to come along for the ride.